Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for another episode of Southside Struggles, episode 4. Last episode, we looked at some prospect gameplay. We player logged on a few prospects: Drew Thorpe, Colson Montgomery, Edgar Cuero, Jacob Gonzalez. We're going to do Noah Schultz here in a future video. I forgot that he pitched a second game for a AA team, so I wasn't able to get one for him, and I didn't want to simulate too far for the majors in the major league season. So we will get to him eventually. There, we also took a look at our draft prospects as well. They look to be pretty good. A lot of guys in top 15 look to be pretty dominant. There was a first baseman that we liked a lot. We'll probably look to isolate him. He was number 6, I do believe, in the projected draft slot, so that's good for us because we are the 5th pick. Hopefully we can sneak one by. So through the first 9 games of the season, we haven't had any injuries, hopefully knock on wood, yet. We're 4-5 in the division. When I started the series, I knew that this division was going to be very, very weak. The AL Central is probably one of the weakest divisions in all of MLB. The Tigers perennially have never been pretty good. The Royals haven't been very good the last few years. Never been pretty good for the Tigers. They haven't been good for the last few years. Don't wanna dig on them too bad. The same thing for the White Sox. They've been the middle team, kind of the back marker for the top 2. If you fall below the White Sox, you're not doing great. But if you're staying above them, you're pretty good for the division at least. But they never really ever seem to get more than one team to the playoffs, whether that be the Twins the last few years or the Guardians the years before, and they've won World Series or 2. I think they've won 2 World Series. I know that for sure they've won 1, but we'll not sure on if they've won that second one. Take a look here at some trades just to start the season. Not to say we're going to make any, but just to check it out, test the waters. Evan Carter, he's having a miserable year to start. He's batting .069 through the first 2 weeks. He was on that Rendon level with no hits through like 20 something at bats. But he has turned it around. He got one last night, so good on him. But in the show, he is batting .280 with just under a 1,000 OPS, and that'll play. I'm not going to trade for him because that's not nearly realistic at all. And also, he wants Garrett Crochet and Colson Montgomery. So, absolutely not. No way in hell. Those 2 guys are our next up guys, and we would hate to see that. But, going throughout the year, maybe we trade for, a third baseman or something later on. But not really much going on. A lot of old guys. I don't necessarily want to play for or trade for older guys. I don't feel like that's going to really give us a lot of anything. But Trevor Rogers here is 26 years old, a potential starting pitcher for the Marlins. Doesn't have a great ERA this year starting out. Only 4 innings pitched, 9 ERA, gave up 4 earned runs, 2 homers, walked 2, struck out 3. Maybe that's someone we look into. But they're looking for Colson Montgomery in return, and that is never going to happen. Can I put him on my no trade list? Is that a thing? Update trading block. No, not there. I thought there was somewhere you could put on like your no fly list or whatever. But maybe I'm hallucinating. Go to GM goals. Oh, finish over 500 and reach postseason. What if I don't? You're not gonna fire me because we turned that setting off. Yeah, that happened to me one time. I was playing Rockies. I was playing a Rockies franchise, and we were actually doing pretty good. I mean, and it was in this game, so they have Shohei Ohtani and stuff. And third season in, we're 10 games above 500. We barely missed the playoffs by a game, and the Giants, Padres, and Dodgers all made the playoffs. So we're 4th in the division, and we missed the wild card by a game. And they fired me because I didn't make the postseason. Are you serious? 2 years ago we were 60 and 100. Like, You're gonna fire me when we went, you know, like 88 and 78 or whatever it was? Come on, doesn't make any sense. But anyways, we did get fired. And I was pretty salty about it. Honestly, I stopped playing it. So, so today we're gonna get more gameplay here. This is the White Sox versus the Royals. And like I said at the beginning, we're gonna try to do 1 to 2 full gameplays per month, as we will be taking on the Royals. And Robert is having an awful start to the season. .08 average on 25 at bats. That is not what you want to see. Nicky Lopez not having a bad start to the season. 314. Benintendi is having 400 so far through 35. Yoan Moncada and Eloy Jimenez around the 250 mark. Andrew Vaughn 290. Paul DeJong with a 440. Pilar not competitive, and Maldonado also only has 10 bats, hasn't got a hit yet. I meant to change our lineup the other day. I did not want Kevin Pillar playing over Gavin or Dominique Fletcher. And Dominique Fletcher's a better player all around, so I want him out there when we can have him. And then looking here, not probably going to make anybody else a change. I don't know, maybe for lefties anyway, Dominique Fletcher sucks. His clutch is good, but Zach DeLoach is a rookie. His lefty contact's better. Lefty power's better. Fielding miserable. But it's in right field. Nah, we'll stick with not putting in DeLoach. As we play the next game, we're going to play the full game. We'll be on the road here. We'll be turning on quick pitch, obviously. Love to have quick pitch. Great feature. Garrett Crochet with a low ERA of .82 through, I think, 2 starts. So that's good. Oh, man, we are very, very tired. So we're going to look to change some of these guys out. Fletcher can stay. DeJong. Put in Shoemake for the day. Rookie Moncada. Moncada's going to have to play. And then Lopez. We'll take Lopez out and put DeJong back in at shortstop or at second base. He has a little bit more energy than him. Eloy Jimenez, left field. Yeah, we need to possibly pull up another infielder. Because right now we don't have many. We have a lot of outfielders that can't play the infield. And unfortunately, we're going to have to play some guys that are tired. I'm not sure if Brandon Shoemake is starting his first game, but he will be in the lineup today. He doesn't have any batting average right now. I'm hoping that's just because he hasn't played and not because he's been whiffing on everything or striking out. As we're at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. A good little facility. The ball rides a little bit more than most stadiums here, not as much as Colorado, Mile High City there. That ball flies out of the stadium. As Daniel Lynch is on the mound with Luis Robert to start us off. As he looks at a strikeout away. First strikeout of the day. That is super fucking fortunate for us. And he continues his miserable start to the season as we pop one out into center field. 2 down already through 9 pitches. Not a great start to the day. Eloy Jimenez goes up and gets one. Good timing. Still in the zone, so it didn't chase, but it's a pop out to left field. No score as we head to the bottom of the first. And that'll be 3 up, 3 down for the White Sox here. Start the game, not a good way. Eric Feedy has a sinker, so that's good. And they didn't give us a call. Oh, bad call. He has a slurve as well. A cutter and a circle change. We'll go back to the sinker. I'm going to try to be a little bit more realistic with pitching. As Bobby Witt Jr. gets a absolute bomb off the bat, and that'll be a 1-0 ball game to lead us off here in the bottom of the first. Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be a generational player. Probably already is if you look at how good he's been. But even over the next few years, he has the chance to be repeat MVP level player. So he'll be fun to watch the next few years. Like I was mentioning before, we rudely got interrupted by Bobby Witt's home run. We're going to try to pitch a little bit more realistic. So if you look at the MLB, a lot of starting pitchers will only use a few pitches to start the first. And we missed that. They're going to score on that. Not even going to contest it. But we will try to get the out. He will stop the first. So a lot of pitchers won't use their whole pitch repertoire to start the game. They'll do, 2 pitches, maybe a third if they have 5 through the first order. Oh my goodness, they are teeing off on PD. This is not a good start to the game. Already down 2-0. But again, if they would stop hitting the ball, a lot of them only use a few pitches to start the first, go through just because they don't want to, show everything to start the game. And I'll probably start trying to do that. Stick with, 2 pitches to the first, maybe throw in a second or third. To the second time through the order, or if I'm, the pitcher's not staying in, maybe go ahead and throw everything out of him in the second round. As we ground into hopefully a double play here. And it'll be 2 outs after the ungodly amount of hits that they got right there. But I think it'll be a little more realistic to see that, I'm not using all of them, because if you have 5 pitches, it's a little easier to get through because they don't know what's coming. I do think the AI does, as we get a strikeout here in an inning, I think the AI does kind of catch on if you're using the same pitch over and over again. Like if you throw the same fastball 3 times in a row, that 3rd time they're probably going to get a good hit. Just because it's, obvious, not obvious, but you kind of assume if you're throwing the same pitch a lot, it'll probably come again. So it'll make it a little more difficult to get through the innings as Andrew Benintendi grounds one a shortstop. That'll be the 3rd out, or 1st out, 4th out of the game. But I don't know. Not every pitcher does it. Obviously, it's not 100%. It's not a rule, you have to follow or anything. But that's why relievers typically have a better chance of getting people, fooled, and they can have a little bit lower ERAs. Most of the time, they pitch less, so less opportunity to get beat up on. But that could work against you. If you have 1 run and you only pitch 1 inning, it's going to be a high ERA of 9, right? But they typically use all their pitch repertoire right out of the bullpen. They don't typically sit around and fastball, curveball, fastball, stuff like that. They use their whole arsenal right out of the gates. And not to say that we won't do that, like I'm saying, but some pitchers I might just stick with just doing a couple and then switching up. And I'll try to look, up on the internet to see how pitchers pitch, because I want this to be realistic. I don't want to, if a pitcher doesn't throw their changeup but 10% of the time or less, I don't want to throw their changeup half the time because it's such a good pitch, and stuff like that. As Vaughn gets around on one, good timing, but he will unfortunately be too shallow to capitalize on the runner on base. 2 away here. Again, another pop-up, a little late on it to center field. Not going to be able to get anything going in the second. Back on the mound. Hopefully we can not give up a home run and another run. But you never know. You never know with the White Sox. Always keep everybody guessing is their motto. For better or for worse. Just missed. 1 out, base is empty. Darian Blanco, I think, is a speed demon. I was mentioning the last video. Oh, they don't give us that call. Come on. I mentioned in the last video or a video ago, 2 videos ago, that there's not a lot of speed demons. Darian Blanco, speed demon. The Royals have a lot of speed. You got Bobby Witt, who's their superstar player. He's got insane speed. Blanco's got insane speed. Given Blanco's not nearly as good as Bobby Witt, but speed will play. Speed always plays. Whether you're going to play every day or you're going to be a pinch runner and run like that, hopefully we can get there, and we will not be able to get to that one. We probably wouldn't have made it back anyways because, you know, it's fast as hell. As we hopefully can turn a double play here. 4, 6, 3 to end the inning. We're making contact a lot of these, but they're all not going anywhere. Tough to see. As Maldonado gets his first hit of the season. Big power hitter out of the right side of the box. But he's able to get his first hit of the season. Thank golly. He only had 10 at-bats, so he didn't play every single day. But luckily, he's able to get one. 1 for 11, not great. Still not as bad as our superstar. As he swings and misses his circle change up in the zone. He's a 23 All-Star. Hopefully he can recreate that here in 24. We're definitely going to need it as he takes one deep to center. He chucks the bat. Oh, baby. Left the pitch in the middle of the zone, and he made you pay for it. 111 off the bat, 112 you round up, 470 odd some feet. And that is what we want to see out of our leadoff man and superstar, Robert Jr. 463. Love to see it. The fans are disappointed. Hands on the faces. They don't want to be seen on camera. As Paul DeJong gets another one, rips into the gap. Left another pitch hanging. As we're going to stop as a stand-up double. Could have pushed it, but 45 speed. It's a little worrisome. Back-to-back, or 3 hits in a row here. See if we can make it 4. As we pop out to what seems to be left field, unless he makes an error. He does not. No error today. But luckily, we have brought it back to tied. Sorry, had the video paused. Didn't happen anything. Benintendi grounded the pitcher. The pitcher made a good play, stabbed it right out in front of him. I mean, we were not able to score the run for second. Two runs there on the home run, so extremely excited about that. Hopefully we can turn the corner with Luis Robert Jr. and he can start getting, you know, hits right now with a sub 100. Average is not what we want, as Bobby Witt is able to get another hit and get on base. It's always scary when a guy with top tier speed gets on base, because I don't think we have the pitch speed to really limit him. With Bobby Witt on, like worried about the run like I was just mentioning. Hopefully he doesn't steal on us. Please don't steal on us, Bobby. Let's get the force out at first, but we're not able to get the runner at, or if we get the first out at second, we're not able to get the runner. No, we didn't. We didn't get the force at second. Oh, we're not able to get any on that. That is extremely unfortunate. Too much speed on the base path. Like I was mentioning just a second ago, they have a lot of speed. I didn't realize their 2-hole was 91 speed. Jeez Louise. Alright, hopefully we can turn 2 here. Hard hit ball up the middle. Salvi Perez out of the box on 10 speed. We were able to get 1 regardless, I'm sure. We could have thrown it probably to third base too and still got him out. But we were able to turn 2 there. Witt at third base. 2 down. Second time through the order, so we'll probably start throwing in other pitches as he's late there. Definitely going to be utilizing our cutter a little bit more. We haven't really used that at all so far. And we'll probably limit a little bit on the circle change until the 3rd time through the order. But I might throw it here and there when I off the sinker, especially when they're out in front of the sinker like that. Actually, I couldn't tell if they're out in front of the sinker. Oh, come on, Blue, you got to give us that. See, he walks in a very high pitch at bat. Unfortunate there. Hopefully we can get Pasquantino down quickly. Doesn't look like Feedy's going to make it through the 5th inning as he issues another RBI. Pasquantino able to get one through the hole over on third base side. Unfortunate. Yeah, like I was saying, I don't think he's going to be able to make it through the 5th inning. At this point, right, he's not going to make it through the 4th. Pitch count really, really high. And giving up 3 runs already. Giving up a lot of good contact. Not sure what happened in the 2nd inning. We were able to get, I think, 3 up, 3 down, or 4. And that's strike 3 to get out of the jam. 2 runners on. Pasquantino able to get them back on top. We'll definitely probably want to get somebody warmed up probably towards the end of this inning. Moncada takes a big whiff and a miss. Good timing, though. Should have definitely been a hit. But what you get with timing relies a lot on the player's attributes, which I like. I like it a lot. But sometimes it sucks. Oh! As we get rung up on one at the knees. Oh, come on. That sucks. As Vaughn's able to get one into opposite field. Showing a little bit of opposite field contact right there. Love to see that. Never going to be upset about ripping it the other way. Meaty fastball. Meaty fastball. They swing under it. Also swing late. Shoemake 0 for 3 in the last game. Not great, but he does get a good rip on this one. Good timing. Is it over the right fielder's head? No, it is not. He does not have enough pop at the plate to really drive that one out of the ballpark. 2-away here. Another lefty on lefty. Dominique Fletcher in the box as he is able to foul one away. On a circle change there. A little early. Almost had that timed up. We take a knuckle curve away. We're going to get... Who do we want working? Kopech has went up a couple overalls, I do believe. Lefty, lefty. Looks like we definitely want to work a lefty. We'll get a stretch and toss. And we'll get Kopech stretching and tossing. Fletcher. Good contact, but does not able to get a hit. We get to the bottom of the 4th, down 1 run. Feedy's probably last inning here. Getting back into things here. Sorry if I repeat anything. I had to take a step away and come back to recording at a later date. So we are halfway through this game, a little bit under halfway in the 4th inning as we started off with another strike. Strikeout in the bottom of the 4th inning, the 3rd strikeout of the game. Feedy has been going pretty well here. I mean, he has given up 3 runs, but he gets another strikeout. Sorry about that. My morning alarms are still going off. But Feedy's 4th strikeout of the day right there in the 4th inning. He has been doing, he's been doing all right, but I expected a lot less. 3 runs. We're only down 1. Not too shabby. He's thrown 85 pitches now as he's through 4. He gave up, one giant home run to Bobby Witt Jr. in the beginning of the game, which is unfortunate. But Bobby Witt Jr. being a great player, so it is not surprising, I would say, that he took us for a ride out to left field. But we were able to get a few back. We're only down 1. I think, yeah, Robert had a home run at the beginning of the game, I do believe. Again, I'm a little rusty. As he is issued a walk here. That's good to see. He's on base. Again, I would love to be able to steal more with him, but we need to work on his speed as we pop one up to the right fielder. Definitely could have laid off there. But we had good timing. Not a bad cut at it. I would love to be able to steal with Luis Robert, but he just doesn't have enough speed for me to be comfortable with that, which is unfortunate. We will be playing small ball here. Not really small ball. We'll be playing a little slow as the count runs full with Benintendi on deck. Another walk. Another walk as they have two guys up in the bullpen warming up now. Benintendi's 0 for 2 in the day, so he hasn't done much damage. Hopefully he can get one here to tie us back up. He gets one right down the middle, but it does not look like it's going to be able to score any runs as we pop out to the center fielder. Unfortunate. Unfortunate as Bobby Witt steps up to another at bat. We go to the bullpen and assess this. So don't want to keep Feedy out there. It's at 87 pitches. Doesn't look like righties is the move, especially with Perez down on deck. But the lefties also aren't great. I think we are going to go with Kopech. Sit down Tanner Banks, and we'll put Kopech in the game. That'll be it for Feedy. Didn't do too terrible. Only allowed 3 through 4. Not great by any means. Not great by any means. But you know, he's able to limit the runs, give us good 4 quality innings, honestly. Would have liked to keep the runs down, but with the guys that he allowed to score the runs, I'm not surprised. As Witt Jr. grounds one as a shortstop, and he will be able to beat it out. That speed is electric on the base pass. We also have DeJong in shortstop, and I said at the beginning of the season, his arm strength is going to cause us some issues, and there it is. Not being able to get there. And he also took his sweet time. I don't know who he thought was on the base pass. Maybe he thought, I know we have Shoemake at shortstop, not DeJong. As Bobby Witt slides into shortstop. Yeah, I looked at that play. I don't know. Kind of looked like a late slide by Bobby Witt Jr., but we're not going to get any call on it, it seems. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. With 1 down, 2 down now in the bottom of the 5th as Salvador Perez swings and misses at the big curveball at the knees. I think he's going to steal as we lob a circle change up in the zone. Definitely should have took a hack at that. Takes a hack at that one, and it will be over the top of Benintendi's head, and it looks like it's going to be able to score a run. And it will be able to. Velasquez drives in. Another here in the bottom of the 5th. Unbelievable, man. They just have so much speed on the base path. That's like 90% of the rest of the league that grounds out to a double. That's a double play. No questions asked. But they got speed on the base path, so it's hard to get that double play there. Yomakata with one right up the middle. They're able to tag it at second base, and he is out. What a nice play there. Into the hole. Not great to see, but what can you do? Good timing on it. Count runs full. Shoemake on deck. See if we can get on base here. We will be able to with another walk. We've had a lot of walks today. Even in this second half of the video I've been recording, we've had 3 already. So that's good to see on base percentage going up. And that's you can never complain about the on base percentage being good. When you get on base, like it's Moneyball. When you get on base, you score runs. I thought about doing a Moneyball series with the Athletics, but when you look through your YouTube, They're one of the more popular teams. As we get a rip in here by Shoemake. That should score one. As we'll hold up at second. Oh no, that'll be close. He is able to come in. No tag at the plate by Perez because of a bad throw. And that is Shoemake's first Major League hit and first RBI. You love to see it. Get that ball for him. Put it in his trophy case at home. Lovely stuff. As he gives it to DeJong, the guy he's actually replacing today. Good team player, DeJong. As they already go to another pitcher out of the bullpen. The last guy only faced 3 guys and they sat him down. I understand you're up 1. Runner on second as we strike out on that pitch. Come on. I guess it wasn't. It was on the front door slider. Got us buckled at the plate as we swing at that slider. Holy. Back-to-back sliders, back-to-back Ks for me. Not a good look. As we're back into the top or bottom of the 6, as Hunter Renfroe takes a absolute rip at one, but it is unable to stay fair, and it will be strike 2. He likes to swing, so hopefully we can get him to chase outside the zone here with an uncompetitive pitch. As he doesn't give us that call. So that's interesting. Looked to me that it was good enough. As we go up in the zone and get Renfroe. Send him back to the bench with Kopech's second strikeout of the day. Another big rip, but this one will be well foul. Showing that opposite field power there. It was a little worrisome if he can drive that one deep into the left field. But he will be grounding out to first base on that slider down and away in the zone. Good pitch by Kopech right there. Nothing to complain about. He's getting tired, but hopefully we can get to this last batter here. And we will be able to, as long as Shoemaker can make a play on the 98 speed. But he is able to. He actually got through that one quickly. Whereas on the last one, Bobby Wood, he took his sweet time over there. Another new pitcher out, man. They are running through their bullpen today. Oh my gosh, he's rung up on a strike inside. Oh, come on. You can't give us the changeup at the bottom of the zone, but they give him that one. Looks like the zone's a little wide today. A little off the plate as we get his first strike of the day. But he doesn't call that one a strike, so I'm not sure what the ump is really seeing. Probably nothing. Probably nothing. As we swing under that one. That was not a bad pitch in the zone. I do believe the timing was good enough. Yep, it was good. Unable to make contact. But yeah, DeJong's not out. He's replacing our second baseman because he needed a break as we get strike 3 in the check swing. Horrible inning. Holy crap. 3 strikeouts. Not a good look, and I wasn't even able to put anybody up to warm up. Unfortunate. Boneheaded play by me. Yeah, it's stupid. Stupid on my part. Hopefully we can Kopech through and not get him injured. Pitchers do get injured. I mean, there's so many injuries in this game. A few of my playthroughs, I think I had like 20-something, 30-something injuries. It's crazy, but I mean, it is pretty realistic. I mean, even this year so far, as we get a fly out at the last inches of the warning track, one away. But if you're looking at 2024, we're a week into the season, a week and a half. And if you look, there's already been so many top pitchers have to have Tommy John surgery or be shut down this year because of UCL sprains, tears, whatever. I mean, so far you have Fletcher's able to make the play, moving into center field. So far you have Strider from the Braves. You have Cleveland pitcher. I could have named him 10 times out of 10 times. if it wasn't for me trying to name him, you know? Yeah, so taking a look at this, you have Spencer Strider. You have, just looking, if you go on MLB.com and you look at the injury list, it's actually insane how many people are injured on each team. Like, I've looked, there's 6 teams so far, and there's like 15 people per team. Shane Bieber is the guy who I was thinking of, but they have, I mean, there's 6 pitchers on the Guardians that are hurt. There's a ton of pitchers on every single team, it looks like, that are just injured. Verlander's still out, but he was injured last year. Yeah, a lot of injuries. So the game is, I mean, semi-realistic in that way. It seems to be like there are a lot of injuries year over year, and you don't see an injury stat. As we're able to get the 3rd out of the inning and a pop up to short, you don't get an injury stat, so it's like you don't really know. I mean, you can see when you draft somebody about their doctor's report and whatnot, which is a cool feature. But there's nothing really telling you, hey, this guy, you know, has a high injury stat and stuff like that. Be wary. So you just kind of manage that yourself. But this year's been crazy. I mean, there's been so many injuries, and a lot of people are speculating that it's a pitch clock time decrease. And while, you know, you gotta trust the experts and stuff like that, it's also, I mean, there's been multiple people talk about it. A pitcher a few years back, even before the pitch clock came in to play. I'm not going to pinch run here. I don't see the point in it. We're only down 1. But, yeah, he was speaking on... Oh, that should have been a absolute rocket. But we were a little late on it. Missed it. But he was speaking on pitchers throwing. And it's like, yeah, the pitch clock is something that is definitely affecting pitchers because they're having to speed up to their delivery, not being able to, you know, take as long as a break for their arm and stuff. But they're also throwing harder than they did back in the day. And it's the MLB's fault in a way, and by not the MLB per se, but the teams and the people who sign the contracts, the general management team and stuff like that. They're all looking for the top tier speed. They're 97 to 100 miles per hour, and not everybody is, you know, designed to do that in a way. Not necessarily designed, but can do that. Like your muscles aren't strong enough or whatever it is. You just can't handle that constant speed pitching every single time. So one of the guys I was talking, he's a MLB pitcher now, I think. If not, he was a former pitcher. And he was just talking about, you know, these guys probably, you know, 20 years ago would only be throwing 90, 91, 92. But now, with how development is and player acquisition is, they're looking for people that are, you know, throwing in the top 90s as we strike out again. Oh man, a lot of strikeouts here today. Not what we're looking for. We're only down a run. But so that's something also to consider. I'm sure, I mean, it's not even I'm sure, there definitely is an effect on the pitch clock. Because if you look at year over year, I think last year was up like 20-some%. And this year's, if you look at, you know, actualizing it to the full year, is going to be up like 40% off last year, which is something absurd when you're thinking about, you know, one rule change, which is just a pitch clock, having that much of an effect on arguably, I'm not going to say your most important player, but arguably one of the more significant long-term injuries. I mean, you saw Bryce Harper a couple years ago. You saw Bryce Harper a couple years ago. Sorry if that was loud. I'll try to cut it, but if not, I'll just cut the audio. But a couple years ago, you had Bryce Harper hurt himself in the playoffs, and he went to have Tommy John surgery. But he was playing in like 4 months. But he was only swinging. He wasn't throwing. I mean, he didn't even start throwing until late last season, which was like 16 months after. It was like a year-ish after that. And even you look at Shohei, he's a pitcher, so he will not be pitching this year. He's playing DH because that's it. He's not going to be playing the field at all. But you look at him, he just started like trialing throwing a couple weeks ago. I mean, after his announcement about the gambling um, investigation, he went out into the field and just kind of started test throwing. That was his first time he'd done it publicly. Obviously, he's probably done it behind closed doors, because why would you do that publicly first? But like, that was only, I think that was like 6 or 7 months after, and he could barely even throw. Um, so yeah, Tommy John is one of the most significant injuries to a position that the MLB has deemed as one of the more important ones. Again, it's not the most important, but if you look at how they've paid pitchers and how old the pitchers have been they've paid, like Verlander, he's like 40 and they paid him, millions of dollars as if he was a super young guy, but he got the bag, so can't complain. Another strikeout. I think we've struck out like 7 times in a row. As Luis Robert steps into the box, hopefully he can turn our misfortune around as he swings it one outside the zone. But in conclusion, there's a lot of factors going into pitchers getting hurt. It sucks to see you're losing top tier guys like Spencer Strider, strikeout king last year. As they call that was a check swing. As that'll be strike 3 and the Royals win. As I think they strike out like the last 6 or 7 guys. Couple questionable pitches, couple questionable calls. I think that last call there,